watching the Ohio Valley Conference softball on ESPN+. My name's Kyler Messenger, coming to you live from the Southeast Softball Complex here in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Today's matchup, a rematch of the 2024 OVC Tournament Championship, is between the Panthers of Eastern Illinois and the Red Hawks of Southeast Missouri State. SEMO comes into today's game at 12-22, and Eastern Illinois comes in at 21-18. You're looking right now at the weather track presented by Field Turf, the world leader in artificial turf and sponsor of the OVC. Here at the Southeast Softball Complex, winds are rising up to 16 miles per hour, but man, you see that 81 number. It is a great day for some softball. I'm excited. I know you at home watching this game are excited. I know these ladies are excited to play. So let's get right into our players to watch today. These players to watch are presented by Jostens, the official recognition company of the OVC. So for SEMO, the player to watch is going to be Camden Hutton. She's starting at second today. She averages .333. That's her batting average coming into today's matchup. She's got 28 hits on the season, 11 RBIs, and she's still waiting for that first home run. Stepping up first to bat for the Panthers is going to be Chloe Wambolt. And we got that batting order lineup on the screen right now. We're going to need to wipe that and get a look at the very first pitch that is thrown. Wipe the graphics into the game. Very first pitch was in there. We're going to need to wipe the graphics into the game. The scoreboard, Maddie Carney on the mound for the Red Hawks. We apologize for the quick technical difficulties going on here at the Southeast Softball Complex. Currently a 2-0 count to Chloe Wambolt, the starting shortstop here for the Panthers. Wambolt swings, grounds over to Martini at short. She fields, she throws, and the first batter that Maddie Carney has faced today is retired. In the field for SEMO, it's Sydney Miles at third, Addie Martini at short, Camden Hutton at second, and Aubrey Shore, who just made that put out at first base. We already talked about the junior Maddie Carney on the mound as Lizzie Silverson steps up to bat for the Panthers. In the outfield from left to right for SEMO is Brittany Afalter. Lily Delmain continues her hot streak. She stays in center, and Madison Winkler starts in right. And that leaves none other than Gracie Luna, SEMO's starting catcher, behind the plate today. Right now, Lizzie Silverson up to bat for the Panthers. She's going to bunt. It gets by Carney. Shore able to field, but unable to throw to first. You saw Camden Hutton covering the base, but what a bunt right there by Lizzie Silverson. She is going to start the Panthers off on the bases. They now have one out with a runner on first. There is one out currently and a runner on first base. And a swing by Frederick. Double play ball to Martini at short. They're unable to get Frederick at first base, but Addie Martini making her presence be known already. SEMO gets a quick 2 outs, quick grounders to Addie Martini. A quick stat about Addie Martini. She has started every single game so far this season for the Red Hawks, and that starting little strategy, that starting little streak is what I meant to say, is not just from this year. Martini has started 41 straight ball games dating back to the end of last season. Martini, a fantastic defensive player, a fantastic offensive player, just a fantastic all-around player for SEMO. SEMO has recorded 2 outs so far in this inning. Now a 2-1 count to Abby Hatton. Hatton, the lefty, swings. She's starting at first base today for the Panthers. Hatton has some SEMO ties to her name. We'll get to those later in the game when Hatton makes another player. Hatton comes up to bat again, but just don't forget that Abby Hatton does have some SEMO ties as she rips this ball into center field. It's a base hit. going to advance the runner to second, and Hatton starts her day off with an up-the-middle single. SEMO recorded 2 outs, now has 2 base runners, 1 on second, it's Alicia Frederick, and 1 on first, it's Abby Hatton. Maddie Carney now faces the next batter, their catcher, Sophia Ullman. And notice that the batter didn't come up to bat as soon as the other girl. She is their starting catcher. She had the legs on, had to take them off. You guys know the drill. There was 2 outs. She was preparing to get out in the field, but now she gets to hit. Here's the pitch to Ullman. First pitch is delivered outside for a ball, so a 1-0 count to Sophia Ullman. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Maddie Carney. Delivered and swung on by Ullman. It's going to be fielded at third by Sydney Miles, and she just steps on it. Not a 1-2-3 inning, but a quick 3 outs for SEMO. 0-0 heading into the bottom of the second. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. And we are back mid-at-bat with Camden Hutton. So on the mound for the Panthers, it's Carly McKenzie. Carly McKenzie, a very familiar player for SEMO. They faced her last year. She was named the OVC Tournament MVP after last year's tournament. That's how good of a pitcher Carly McKenzie can be. A senior from Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. She's seen many complete games. We'll see if today's gonna be one of those. Camden Hutton, our player to watch today, is currently up to bat. She's moved into that number 1 lineup hitting spot for SEMO. Hutton, a transfer. This is her first year with the Red Hawks. She's originally from Poolville, Texas. She originally went to Texas State to play some college softball. Then after her freshman campaign, transferred to Vernon College, and now she's here, home with the Red Hawks for her junior year. The 1-1 pitch to Hutton is delivered for a strike. She'll have to hit with 2 strikes. Camden Hutton hitting .333 coming into today's matchup. She's a defensive stud. She's a hitting prowess. She's a very good addition for this Red Hawks team, and it shows. She starts at second, starts at leadoff, fouls off the 1-2 pitch. She stays alive. It's actually a 2-2 count. We apologize for that. 5th pitch of the at-bat here from McKenzie. It's a 2-2 count. Here's a delivery from McKenzie. Hutton swings, and McKenzie gets her to chase the high heat. The very first out recorded by EIU, or Eastern Illinois, if you weren't picking up what I was putting down right there. It's going to be a strikeout, and that leaves Madison Winkler's right there in the hole. I was mistaken. It's Brittany Falter up to bat next. Madison Winkler moves into the hole, as you could say, if Hutton was up, but now she's on deck with Affolter up. Brittany Affolter, what a season she has been having. There are multiple players in this game today on both teams with active hitting streaks. Brittany Affolter is one of those players. She actually has the highest active game hitting streak out of any player between these two teams, meaning she has hit on base, a successful hit, in 7 straight games. And yes, if you are wondering, I'm knocking on wood right now. No announcer's jinx will be my fault today. Brittany Affolter, 7-game hitting streak, looking to continue that today. Affolter swings on the 1-1 count. She now goes down 1-2. Here's the pitch from Carly McKenzie. Affolter watches the high heat go. McKenzie used that pitch as a strikeout pitch in the last AB. Not able to do so right here. 2-2 count now to Affolter, the starting left fielder for the Red Hawks. The delivery from the 6-foot senior McKenzie. Affolter swings and stays alive. That's a skill that she's just so good at. Fouls that ball off the net. Actually, their catcher, Sophia Ullman, was able to make the play, but it was off the net, not a live softball. So still a 2-2 count for Brittany Affolter. Carly McKenzie delivers. Here is the toss. Affolter watches this ball leave a little high again. Now a full count for Brittany Affolter. Affolter, a senior from Odessa, Missouri. And she has been familiar with SEMO since her freshman year. One of those players who came here in her freshman year, now in her senior season, still with the Red Hawks. Affolter swings. It's a pop-up into left field. Mo Hance is under it, and Mo Hance is going to make the play. Mo Hance out there in left field for Eastern Illinois, one of their 2 returning All-OVC first-team players from last year. Mo Hance in left field, one of them. Their other one, their starting pitcher, Carly McKenzie, who now faces Madison Winkler. SEMO has 2 outs with no runners on base right now. 1-0 pitch here to Winkler. Madison Winkler swinging from the southpaw position. She swings left, throws right. Here's a delivery from McKenzie. Madison Winkler nearly started every game at center field so far. Well, not nearly. She did start every game at center field this season until the Tennessee State series, which was SEMO's very first home series this season, where Lily Delmain started getting the center field action. Now SEMO's playing Winkler in right and Delmain in center. It's really impressive to be able to have such a star player like Madison Winkler, and then you have another up-and-coming star in Lily Delmain to be able to play center field, and then you have the ability to move Winkler into right, still keep her in the lineup, still keep her in the field. SEMO doing a good job building this roster. Winkler squares up to bunt, watches it go. It'll now be a 2-2 count to Madison Winkler. Here's the delivery to the senior. Swung on and fouled off by Winkler. SEMO 12-22 so far this season, 8-6 in OVC games. And once again, I got to knock on wood before I say this. Technically, SEMO is undefeated at home this season so far. They have only had that one series against Tennessee State where they did play at home. Their other series have been canceled as Winkler fouls this ball off again and stays alive. Still 2-2 to Madison Winkler. SEMO, as I was saying, technically undefeated at home. They've only had one series against Tennessee State in which they swept the Tigers 3-0. now with their second series against the first in the OVC Eastern Illinois. Winkler watches this ball be delivered outside. She works back from 2 strikes. It's now a full count. 3-2 to Winkler. Here's a delivery from McKenzie. Winkler swings on it. Fouled off into left field, and it looks like that one is going to be out of the facility. Winkler still stays alive. We talk about SEMO being undefeated at home. Well, in road OVC competition so far, Eastern Illinois is actually 6-0. So today a streak will be broken. Will Eastern Illinois lose their first in-conference game on the road, or will SEMO lose their first home game this season? Only time will tell. Winkler still staying alive, and that's how you know just how good she is. She's been battling back from 2, and she's still not giving up. Carly McKenzie definitely trying to get out of this bottom of the first frame. 3 up, 3 down. SEMO looking to get some runners. Madison Winkler, the senior, looking to decide that. Here's the delivery from McKenzie. Winkler almost goes. They're going to check on it. And home plate umpire checks to the third base umpire. It's Corey Hastings back there behind home plate. Winkler is going to get a walk. They say she doesn't swing. So now SEMO does exactly what they were hoping to do. They get a runner on the base pass. Madison Winkler reaches first, and that brings up Aubrey Shore up to bat. You see co-head coach Dan Paulson talking to Corey Hastings, the home plate umpire right now. Dan Paulson looks like calls for a challenge. We'll need to get a look at that umpire traveling to talk to the other group of umpires. You see them talking, congregating near the first base path. Maybe we'll have an official review. Maybe we won't have an official review. It looks like they're going back. They're going to call Winkler safe at first. That was made aware by Dan Paulson, the co-head coach of Eastern Illinois. Also, co-head coach is Christy Paulson, his wife. So they got a husband co-head coaching here. And you take a look at that walk from Winkler. So she reaches first base safely. Aubrey Shore is now up to bat with a runner on first, and with 2 outs. The pitch from McKenzie is swung on by Shore. She just misses. Aubrey Shore named to the 2026 OVC Players to Watch list. The delivery from McKenzie. And you see Ullman, the catcher for Eastern Illinois, watching Winkler at first. Winkler, a speed demon. So they got to watch out for her on the base pass. Aubrey Shore not only named to the OVC Players to Watch this year, and there's Winkler going to get the steal. Winkler is going to be safe. The throw from Ullman was there on time, it seems like, but it just wasn't accurate. Here is Madison Winkler at second and Aubrey Shore at first. You see the umpire throwing his hands up. Here's the look at the steal from Madison Winkler. We saw Ullman checking on her, and she steals there indeed. Aubrey Shore swings on this softball. It dribbles over to first base, and Abby Hatton is able to just field the ball and keep her foot on first. Nothing hurt for Eastern Illinois. Still 0-0 heading into the top of the second. You're watching OVC softball on ESPN+.
Energy needs may change with the seasons, but saving money makes sense all year. With CenterPoint Energy's efficiency programs, it's easy. Home energy assessments help spot ways to save. Rebates can lower heating, cooling equipment costs. And our online marketplace delivers energy-saving products to your door, electric and gas savings, all from your local energy provider. See how you can save this winter by going to centerpointenergy.com/smart-savings.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
0-0 is the score after the first frame. Now we're here in the top of the second. Kyler Messenger announcing, welcoming you into the Southeast Softball Complex. Maddie Carney is on the mound for the Redhawks, a junior from St. Louis. Throw that St. Louis County in there. Went to Marquette High School, now here at Southeast Missouri. First pitch is going to be fielded by Carney herself, and she makes the throw out at first. It was Mo Hance who was up to bat and who grounds out to first base. Now up will be Lexi Griffin for the Panthers. Delivery from Carney a little bit outside. Lexi Griffin, a senior here for the Panthers, originally from Glen Carbon, Illinois. Carney delivers a strike. One delivery. Nearly finds the zone, but it was just a bit outside. So now Lexi Griffin faces a 2-1 count. Lexi Griffin, not a Panther for life. She's here as a senior, but she's actually played 3 other seasons of college softball. Now Carney finds the zone. It's a 2-2 count. Lexi Griffin last year played at Illinois State. She was a Redbird last year. Hit 195 on the season, which earned her a little transfer over to Eastern Illinois as Carney delivers a full count ball. Now a full count here to Lexi Griffin, and it's actually a 3-1 count to Griffin. Delivery from Carney, swung on by Griffin. It's going to be grounded over to Sydney Miles at third base, who is able to make the play. Sydney Miles, a freshman, getting the start over at third, and successfully doing so today. Now it brings up Maribeth Dyson to hit for Eastern Illinois. If you remember, if you were here, we talked about Brittany Falter for SEMO, who had a hitting streak. Well, Maribeth Dyson also has a hitting streak going. She has hit in 5 straight games. She's got the second most straight hits out of players today. I'm talking about just the streaks. She's got the second highest hitting streak. Brittany Falter, the left fielder for SEMO, does have the highest with 7. But right now, we're talking about Maribeth Dyson, who's got 5. She's their starting center fielder today. Southpaw swinger now faces a 3-0 count. Swinging from the left side. Carney delivers and is going to walk her in 4 pitches right after a ground out right back to Carney and a ground out to Miles at third base. She walks Maribeth Dyson, who reaches base successfully. It's going to bring up Maddox Marshall up to bat next. Maddox Marshall, a 5'9" sophomore from Huntingburg, Indiana. Carney delivers. Ball 1. Maddie Carney, what a pitcher that SEMO has on their hands. Hit 100 strikeouts earlier in this season. Swung on by Marshall. It's hooked out to Winkler in right, and she makes the play without having to move too much. 4 up, 3 down for SEMO. We'll see you in the bottom of the second. You're watching SEMO and Eastern Illinois softball on ESPN+. Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. Carly McKenzie still on the bump for the Panthers, and up to bat for SEMO first is going to be their starting shortstop, Addie Martini. Addie Martini, a sophomore. She's from Illinois herself, from the St. Joseph region. Went to St. Joseph Ogden High School. Now playing some softball at Southeast Missouri. First pitch delivered a strike from the 2025 OVC Tournament MVP. Eastern Illinois, the reigning champs here in the OVC. Dan and Christy Paulson, this is their second season at the helm of this squad. They came in last year for their first season and won the chip in their very first year. Addie Martini pops out to Maddox Marshall over at second base. One retired for McKenzie. This Eastern Illinois team, while they are being led by Christy and Dan Paulson in their second year, they also won the OVC regular season title 2 years ago in 2024 when neither of the Paulsons were coaching here at Eastern Illinois. But they ended up losing in the championship. In 2024, Eastern Illinois won the 2024 regular season, but they didn't win the championship. They ended up matching up against none other than Southeast Missouri State, the matchup that we're looking at today. And SEMO won the playoffs. We're looking at the last two OVC champions today. Gracie Luna up to bat, fouls this ball off. It'll now be a 1-1 count to Luna. Yeah, we got some stars in this game, and man, do we have some good teams. The last two OVC champions are here at the Southeast Complex. It's going to be a great weekend of some softball. Still scoreless here in the bottom of the second. Pitch to Luna, the off speed from McKenzie. Really delivered that pitch in there well. Now a 1-2 count to Luna. Here's the delivery from McKenzie. A little bit high, and that'll be 2-1. Carly McKenzie last year, after her fantastic season, was named to the All-OVC first team. At the end of last year, had a 2.79 ERA after the conclusion of the total season last year. And if you don't know softball, that's a dang good number. Gracie Luna pops out to first base. So we got two quick pop outs for SEMO. They're just getting a little bit under the ball. We'll see if the freshman Sydney Miles can change that. Time is called by catcher Sophia Ullman. She'll go talk to McKenzie as we take a look at that pop-up from Gracie Luna. Was caught over there by Abby Hatton. over there on first base. Still seeing a little bit of congregation from the catcher, Sophia Ullman, and Carly McKenzie here on the mound. And now we'll get back to play. In the field right now for Eastern Illinois, it's Lizzie Silverson at third, Chloe Wambolt at short, Maddox Marshall at second, Abby Hatton at first. It is Sophia Ullman behind the plate. Carly McKenzie throwing it in the outfield, left to right. It's Mo Hansen left, Maribeth Dyson in center, and Alicia Frederick in right. Here is the delivery from McKenzie. Trying to find the zone. She just misses it on that pitch, just a little bit low to Sydney Miles. Sydney Miles, a freshman from Missouri. She's from Park Hills, the local star coming here to play at SEMO. Miles watches this pitch go outside, now faces a 3-0 count. And I wonder what it takes to swing on a 3-0 count. If I had a color commentator counterpart, I'd be asking him, what does that pitch have to look like for you to swing on 3-0? And you can almost always guarantee that a baseball or softball player is never going to swing at a 3-0 as you see Miles take this 3-0 pitch as a strike. It's just not, it's like an unwritten rule for a coach. A coach might be upset if you swing at a 3-0. It's just not logical to swing at a 3-0 pitch, but nonetheless, it could happen. McKenzie still working from behind, gonna have to find the zone. Miles takes that one into right field. It's gonna be a single for Sydney Miles. Works the count, was down, or excuse me, was up 3-0. Then McKenzie brought it back to 3-1, and Sydney Miles just did a good piece of hitting. Sydney Miles, who was batting from the left side, now brings up Kinley Wilkins, who will bat from the left side as well. Here's the pitch to Wilkins. Wilkins swings and fouls this ball off. As a team, SEMO is hitting .256 coming into today's matchup. That goes for 7th best in the OVC, a conference that has 11 squads, 11 different teams in the OVC. Wilkins watches this pitch in for a strike. It'll be an 0-2 count to Kinley, excuse me. Don't know where that S came in from. I apologize to the Wilkins family if they're watching this. Kinley Wilkins up to bat right now. Another foul ball from Wilkins, doing a good job staying alive. She's hitting 189 coming into today's matchup. She's got 8 RBIs. She's got 4 doubles. Wilkins, you had to put the house on it. It wouldn't have been for a strikeout. Strikeout there from Carly McKenzie gets Eastern Illinois out. We'll see you in the top of the third, 0-0. You're watching SEMO and EIU softball on ESPN+. Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. It's the top of the lineup for the Panthers. Chloe Wamble up to bat for EIU. She's going to start off the inning with a little bunt attempt. Won't be successful. But she might still try and keep that. A 0-1 count right here for Wamble. It is the top of the third inning. Now a 1-1 count to Chloe Wamble. Started off with a bunt attempt. The infield is in. She'll go again and fouled off. Now a 1-2 count for Chloe Wamble. A 1-2 count for Chloe Wamble. Here's a delivery from Carney. And she does find the zone. Excuse me, we thought it was a little bit inside. Home plate umpire Corey Hastings didn't think so. 2-2 count here for Chloe Wamble. Carney is gonna get the strikeout. Gets Chloe Wamble to go down swinging. Starts this third inning off with a K. That's going to bring up their number 2 hitter, Lizzie Silverson, up to bat. Carney gets Silverson on the first pitch of the at-bat. Silverson, a senior here for the Panthers, originally from Monticello, Illinois. She is also in her first year with Eastern Illinois, a senior in the collegiate level, but her first year with Eastern Illinois. Lizzie Silverson last played for the University of Illinois. I think you've heard of it before, the Fighting Illini. Maybe that will ring a bell. The U of I, maybe? The one in Champaign, Illinois. That's the school. She played there last year. Now transfers to Eastern Illinois, and a bad hop gets past Addie Martini. And when I say she, I'm talking about Lizzie Silverson advances to first. Her second hit of the day. We'll take a quick look at that. It was just a bad hop to Addie Martini. We might even want to look at that one again. Martini, a fantastic defensive shortstop, just hit a lip on the infield and just bounced in a region where her glove was not. That was kind of a freaky bounce. It didn't look like it was going to go that high, and then it just did last second. You got Lizzie Silverson on first base right now. She can run, so they got to watch out for her. That's why you saw Gracie Luna quickly getting the ball back to Maddie Carney on the mound. SEMO's got one out. It's a 1-1 count right now. Swung on and hit by Frederick, but it's going to be caught out there and left by a falter. There's Alicia Frederick who got a piece of that ball. It just went right to the left fielder, Brittany Falter. We will now see a mound visit from head coach Mark Redburn, and I was incorrect, so please excuse me. We have a runner on second, a runner on first. That ball was not caught by Brittany Falter. Once again, big apologies here. Not caught by Brittany Falter. So there's 2 runners on for Eastern Illinois. Lizzie Silverson will be at second, and Alicia Frederick will be at first. Still only 1 out recorded by SEMO. Coach Mark Redburn, who did just recently hit his 300th career win at the school. He's now 305 heading into this game, so congrats to Coach Mark Redburn. Goes back to the dugout, gives Carney some encouragement that she needed, and she's going to have to attack here. I'm fascinated by this running technique that Lizzie Silverson is using on second base. You'll be able to see it when we go back to this different camera angle. I mean, she is 4-point defensive end position ready to go. I would be fearful if I was an offensive tackle watching Lizzie Silverson line up. I mean, she is ready to run through a wall over there at second. I'd be scared of her on the base pass if I was Sydney Miles over there at third. Silverson ready to go off of the bat of Abby Hatton, but it goes foul. We got Silverson at second, Frederick at first, Abby Hatton hitting. Now, we talked about it earlier, if you remember. We're going to talk about it all weekend, I'm not going to lie, so just get used to it. Abby Hatton does have some SEMO roots. If you're watching this in the Hatton family, you already know what I'm about to talk about. Abby Hatton's father, Vern Hatton, was a star outfielder for SEMO from the 2001 and the 2002 seasons. Not only was he a star outfielder, he helped SEMO get an OVC championship under their belt as Abby Hatton lifts this softball into deep left center field, and just like her father, Abby Hatton goes deep at SEMO. Take a look at that Oppo Taco shot by the lefty. Deep left center field. Abby Hatton has made it Eastern Illinois 3, SEMO 0. Wow, what a swing there from the sophomore. I mean, she just took Maddie Carney deep, and that's something that you don't see very often. Maddie Carney, a fantastic pitcher, has only gave up 4 home runs before that one. She has now given up 5 as Abby Hatton takes her deep. It's going to bring up Sophia Ullman up to bat next. Wow. Abby Hatton could not have cued me in better. We'll talk about her dad. We'll talk about her mom. We'll talk about her aunt. We'll talk about the entire family on what their relation is to SEMO. But Abby Hatton, the Eastern Illinois first basewoman, getting it done early here in the third. Sophia Ullman, the starting catcher for Eastern Illinois, now faces a 1-1 count. It's a 1-1 count. And that is going to be a strikeout. It was not a 1-1 count. We apologize for our difficulties. A strikeout for Carney, her second of the day, and that is what she needed to get right back on the sheets. If you're Carney, you know how good you are. Just a little misstep when you let that home run go to Abby Hatton. And I don't even know if I'd call that a Maddie Carney misstep, more like just the right step for Abby Hatton. Anyway, Mo Hance up to bat right now, fresh off a Maddie Carney strikeout. Hance swings and fouls it off of her back foot. Nothing hurt. She'll walk that one off. Sydney Miles tosses the ball back to Maddie Carney. Maddie Carney has been here now. This is her 3rd year at SEMO. She's been here her entire career. Carney delivers. It's swung on by Hance and fouled off of the legs again. Might not have hurt on the first one, but 2 in a row. You can see her shaking that off. Mo Hance, also a returning OVC player for Eastern Illinois. We talked about it earlier. They got 2 returners who were all OVC players last year. Their starting pitcher and also their starting left fielder. Mo Hance up to bat right now. Carney delivers a little bit low and outside. Tried to get her on the strikeout pitch. Mo Hance stays alive. Mo Hance swings in a double strikeout by Maddie Carney. 2 in a row after giving up the Abby Hatton 3-run shot. It's Eastern Illinois 3, SEMO 0. We'll see you in the bottom of the third. You're watching SEMO Eastern Illinois softball on ESPN+. Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. Lily Delmain will be the first batter to face a pitch for the Redhawks. Eastern Illinois in the top of the third got on the scoreboard pretty quickly. Abby Hatton had 2 base runners on. She had Silverson at second, Silverson was at second. Frederick was at first. Doesn't matter where they ended up because they ended up at home. Abby Hatton took SEMO pitcher Maddie Carney deep, and that's how the score ended up 3-0 if you're just joining us. On the mound is Carly McKenzie, the All-OVC tournament MVP at the end of last season. McKenzie now faces SEMO, a hit up the middle fielded by Wambolt over at short, and a throw is going to be off of the mark. It was Wambolt who fielded the ball at shortstop, just wasn't able to make the play. Lily Delmain, the starting center fielder, a very fast player, and on that ball that went outside of the first base woman's area of play, Delmain's going to advance to second. You see the fantastic fielding by Wambolt. Now, although that ball went into the dugout, that's why Delmain's on second. She was able to advance. What a play from Chloe Wambolt. Brings up the top of the lineup for SEMO. Camden Hutton. Hutton swings on the first pitch she sees and just fouls it off. Lily Delmain having a fantastic, fantastic start to her freshman campaign, hitting .293 coming into that first at-bat that we just saw, and she's only raising it with that hit that she had. Here's Camden Hutton up to bat right now. Hutton swings on it. It's a base hit up the middle. They're going to send Delmain home. Here's the throw from Dyson. It's going to be cut off by the pitcher. And excuse me, they did not send Delmain home. They kept Delmain at third. So a beautiful piece of hitting from the Redhawks. Delmain almost singles up the middle, but it was knocked down by Wambolt. Nonetheless, still a single. Then Camden Hutton follows her up and singles in nearly the exact same spot, right up the middle. And SEMO, after giving up 3 runs and a home run, looking to get on the board here. It's 3-0 Eastern Illinois' way. We're going to see some base running mishaps here. We've got communication going on by the Panthers, figuring out what's going to go on if there's a steal from Camden Hutton. It's 3-0 Eastern Illinois' way. There's a runner on third and Lily Delmain. Camden Hutton at first. And there's no outs recorded. Brittany Afalter is hitting. Brittany Afalter swings. It's going to end up being caught by the left fielder, Mo Hans. We're going to have a tag from Delmain. Here's the play at the plate, and she was safe. Lily Delmain makes it home on the tag up. It is now a 3-1 ball game. 1 out recorded by the Panthers, and absolutely great job by Afalter. You don't reach base, but a sac fly is exactly what SEMO needed. So Camden Hutton advances to second base. She also tagged up. Lily Delmain's the runner who scored. SEMO with 1 out down, still down 2. It brings up Madison Winkler with a runner in scoring position. Winkler's going to bunt, gets it down, but it's not in fair territory. Carly McKenzie delivers to Madison Winkler. A strike. So it'll now be a 1-1 count for Winkler. A 1-1 count for Winkler. Madison Winkler faces a 1-1 count. And here is the pitch from Carly McKenzie. Winkler swings on it, no good on the swing. It's going to be a strikeout for Madison Winkler. It was a 1-2 count previously. So Camden Hutton still on second base. SEMO with 2 outs and a runner on second. They're going to bring up their cleanup hitter, Aubrey Shore. Camden Hutton getting that secondary over at second base. Aubrey Shore, a former OVC Player of the Year. Not even just a OVC first-teamer. She's a former Player of the Year. Here's a pitch from McKenzie. Delivered high to Aubrey Shore. Now a 2-0 count. Aubrey Shore now faces a 2-0 count. McKenzie delivers. Shore gets the bat on the ball, and a diving effort is made by Lizzie Silverson. It looked like she robbed the foul ball. She jumped over the dugout of SEMO and made the play. SEMO does get a run on the board, though. SEMO 1, Eastern Illinois 3. We'll see you in the top of the fourth. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls, come on. And y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
We got a pitching change for the Red Hawks. You see her warming up. Maddie Carney's day is unfortunately over. Willow Van Haren is into the game for SEMO. So after giving up a home run to Abby Hatton, Carney's day is over. She did end with a couple of strikeouts. And Van Haren now gets a go. Van Haren also hit 100 career strikeouts earlier in this season. 2 of SEMO's pitchers hit 100 strikeouts. Here is the first pitch we'll see from Willow Van Haren. It's going to be fouled off by, it looks like, Lexi Griffin, who's up to bat right now. Off speed from Van Haren. Just a bit outside of the zone. Lexi Griffin watches this pitch go high. We talked about Lexi Griffin earlier, the transfer from Illinois State, originally from Glen Carbon, Illinois, and in Glen Carbon is Edwardsville High School. That's where she went to. In Edwardsville High School, or in Edwardsville is Edwardsville High School, excuse me. We got some famous graduates from Edwardsville High School. More famous as Lexi Griffin from Edwardsville High School walks. We'll talk about some of those famous Edwardsville High School graduates when Lexi Griffin gets up on her next at bat. It's going to bring up Maribeth Dyson up to bat now for the Panthers. Dyson, a senior from Bentonville, Arkansas. Dyson almost lays the bunt down, but Van Haren threw a pitch a little bit low and inside. Dyson had to make sure she didn't get hit by it. Now, even if Van Haren, now I'm just painting a picture here. If Van Haren bowled the softball. I'm talking about underhand bowling the ball on the ground, and it just 2 miles per hour rolled into the foot of Maribeth Dyson. Dyson would still be awarded first base. All the softball has to do is make contact with the body first. So even if it was just a rolled pitch, it hit her, she still would have got the base. So for SEMO, honestly, it's a good thing that Dyson jumped over that ball. Van Haren, while I've been yapping, been able to work back from the count. Now a 1-2 count. Swung on by Dyson, and it's a strikeout for Willow Van Haren. Then they got to check on the runner over at first. And she's still there. Lexi Griffin at first successfully gets back. Maribeth Dyson does strike out, though, and that brings up Maddox Marshall up to bat. Maddox Marshall starting at second base today for the Panthers. Hitting .224 coming into today's game. Just going to foul this ball off. Maddox Marshall from Huntingburg, Indiana. Here's a delivery from Van Haren. Swung on by Marshall. Fouled off again. Now a 1-2 count for Maddox Marshall, who graduated from Southridge High School out in Indiana. At Southridge High School, she's a sophomore. She's been here at EIU since at Southridge High School. She set a school record. That's right. Maddox Marshall has hit the most career doubles at Southridge High School in history. Record still stands. Willow Van Haren trying to record a record of herself. Maddox Marshall able to get the ball on the ground. Sydney Miles was able to field it, but it was bobbled and unable to be caught by Camden Hutton at second base. SEMO was looking for the double play ball, or at least to get the lead runner out on second, but they aren't able to do so. So now with one out, EIU has players on first and on second. And it brings up the top of their lineup, Chloe Wambolt up to bat now. Wambolt watches the first pitch go a strike. Chloe Wambolt hitting a massive .338 so far this season. She's got the most hits out of any players on this roster. Wambolt lays down a bunt. She tried to catch SEMO on their back feet. Nearly did so, but it was just foul. Chloe Wambolt, 44 hits so far this season. It's one of the reasons why Eastern Illinois is 21-18 in 13-1 in the OVC. You see that record up there at the top left of your screen. Eastern Illinois is first in the entire conference. And I'm going to be real, it ain't close right now. They're 13-1 in the conference. They originally, before their last series against UT Martin, had a 12-game conference winning streak, but their most recent series, they did go 1-1 with UT Martin. So they dropped one conference game to UT Martin. SEMO themselves is in fourth place currently in the OVC. Willow Van Haren, the junior, still delivering. The pitch to Wambolt, just a bit low. Full count to Wambolt. Swung on. They're going to say that she went. They're going to say that she's out of here. Chloe Wambolt with the check swing just goes a little bit too far. Willow Van Haren retires her second batter, of her time. Not the second straight. You do have Maribeth Dyson, who struck out, but you got Maddox Marshall, who was able to get on base. Then you got Chloe Wambolt, who was able to get on base. Lizzie Silverson up to bat right now. And it was Griffin, Lexi Griffin, who was able to get on base, as well as Maddox Marshall. I do apologize. Chloe Wambolt is the one who just struck out. Up now is Lizzie Silverson. Silverson checks the pitch, didn't like it enough to go, but the umpire did. Willow Van Haren now a 0-1 count to Lizzie Silverson. Delivery from Van Haren. Just misses a little bit outside. Willow Van Haren, a junior from Holdenville, Oklahoma, now in her third year at SEMO. Been here since her sophomore year, excuse me. She didn't originally come to SEMO, but this is her second year here with the program. She was good last year. She's been great this year. As Gracie Luna goes out to the mound to check on her pitcher. Delivered on and swung by Silverson. They're going to send the run home. They'll keep the runner on third. So bases loaded for Eastern Illinois. The technical difficulties are coming from the broadcast booth not being at the field. We are actually here behind the field, not able to see any of the current action going on. We're relying on all camera angles, so we do apologize if any confusion was laid out. Currently, bases loaded for Eastern Illinois, 2 outs. Willow Van Haren has struck out 2 this inning, but Eastern Illinois has gotten on 3 times. It's just going to be who wins. Van Haren now with 2 outs faces Alicia Frederick. Frederick looks at this pitch. Umpire thought it was a little bit too inside, so a 2-0 count for Alicia Frederick, who is 1-2 today. She was one of those runs that was on base when Abby Hatton, who's on deck, hit a home run earlier. And Van Haren looking for the zone. Just a little bit off of it. She's just a little bit inside. Now a 3-0 count to Alicia Frederick, and Van Haren with the bases loaded does not want to walk anybody. Unfortunately, does that. A run will score. Bases still loaded for Eastern Illinois with 2 outs, but they get a run on the board. It's now 4-1 Eastern Illinois' way. And it's going to bring up Abby Hatton, who hit a home run, a 3-run home run at that, in her last at-bat. Now has the bases loaded with 2 outs, facing a new pitcher. And SEMO's going to have to take time right now. You got a pitcher who just walked a run in Van Haren. Van Haren, a very good pitcher, comes in relief here for Maddie Carney, just struggling to find the zone. You see Coach Mark Redburn shortly going out there for just a second. Gracie Luna and Willow Van Haren talking now. Let's talk about Abby Hatton, who's up to bat right now. She's 2 for 2 in this game. You already know what happened earlier. She hit that 3-run shot into deep left center field. So far in the season, Abby Hatton is hitting .276. She's got 4 doubles. She now has 3 home runs after that last one. And we're just going to see what she does today. First strike to Hatton is delivered from Van Haren, fresh off of the mound visit from her coach and catcher. It's Lizzie Silverson at second base. You can't forget that technique she's got. Another strike in there from Van Haren to Hatton. And I know Silverson's technique, I don't want to say it's common. I know it's a thing. I know that other players use it, but it's just cool to see her really dig those fingertips into the ground and get ready to go, get ready to hustle. She's ready. Abby Hatton also ready. Hit a home run in her last at-bat. Dad went to SEMO and played baseball here. Her aunt went to SEMO and played volleyball here. She didn't come here to play softball. She went to Eastern Illinois. Hatton rips this softball into right center field. That's at least another RBI. It's going to be 2 other RBIs for Hatton. No, it's not going to be 3 because SEMO is able to gun down the final run at home. You see Abby Hatton still at second. She still got the bases clearing double, and even Dan Paulson of the Panthers is out here checking with the umpire. Even though the Redhawks have gone into their dugout, It looks like we might have a potential challenge here. Dan Polson talking to the umpires. We take a look at that last double by Abby Hatton. And here is the play at the plate between Alicia Frederick and Gracie Luna. It was a throw from right field from Madison Winkler. Hatton is the one who hit the double. They tried to get all three runners in, and it's just that play at the plate that's the question. Dan Polson immediately came out here to ask the umpires if we could review that. And it looks like that is what we are going to do. So the throw-in was actually delivered by Delmain and then delivered by Camden Hutton. She was the short. And the tag was applied by Gracie Luna. Man, I am glad to have an announcer's job and not an umpire's job. We'll let those guys make the professional call. SEMO could be out of here with a couple of more runs given up. It is for sure 6-1 Eastern Illinois' way. The question is, will it be 7-1? And they get a continuance of the inning. It will be 6-1, and SEMO goes up to bat. We're looking at this play at the plate right now. Man, it is close. Dan Polson was the one for Eastern Illinois to come out and immediately ask for the challenge. Eastern Illinois is co-head coach Polson and Dan Polson, the husband and the wife duo. Here's that play at the plate. It looks like the tag was definitely applied by Luna. She for sure applied the tag to the chest of Alicia Frederick. Was it in time, though, will be the question. Christy and Dan Polson both also co-coached at their last stop. They previously coached together at Parkland. At Parkland Community College. It's a community in Illinois. They coached at Parkland, and man, did they have a good year there. In 5 seasons at Parkland, the Polsons, you got to talk about both of them. They're both head coaches. Recorded a record of 205. That's 205 wins and 56 losses. Earned themselves a trip back to their alma mater, I should say. Excuse me. Eastern Illinois. That's right. The Polsons both went to Eastern Illinois, then decided to coach at Parkland College for a while, and now they're here at Eastern Illinois. Last year, in their first season, they won the championship. We are about to see the call from the umpire. And it is out. Alicia Frederick was caught out. Eastern Illinois 6, SEMO 1. SEMO's got some runs to work back with. We'll see you in the bottom of the 4th. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. We welcome you back into the Southeast Softball Complex, home of the Redhawks. On the mound is Carly McKenzie, still dealing for the Panthers. Up to bat, Addie Martini here for the Redhawks. Addie Martini swings on the first pitch. popped into right field, tracked down by Alicia Frederick, who just was most recently called out at home plate. We saw that in in the top of the fourth. We saw lots of runs by Eastern Illinois. Almost had another one, but Alicia Frederick was caught going home. Still, even though she just ran from first to home in the same play, still tracks that softball down from right field into shallow right field. Impressive running from Alicia Frederick. Now up is Gracie Luna here for the Red Hawks. The 1-0 delivery from McKenzie. Luna swings on it. Semo once again getting under the softball. McKenzie doing a good job of getting Semo to pop the ball up a lot. Gracie Luna, catcher from Peoria, Illinois. It's her junior season. She's now been at Semo all 3 years. Luna watches this pitch just a bit high. You know, McKenzie, we've been watching her all game. She likes the high heat. Been trying to get players to swing on the high heat all day. It worked for her very first strikeout of the game. It's worked a few more times than just that. Unable to get Luna swinging on that pitch, though. Another pitch from McKenzie. Swung on by Gracie Luna. It's going to get into deep left field. It was dove by Lizzie Silverson. Luna will end up staying at first. That was Silverson over at third for Eastern Illinois, who tried to get a glove on it. Luna just popped that softball so hard it wasn't able to get into the glove of anybody. It was hit right by all of the infield for the Panthers. Gracie Luna gets on the base pass first for Semo this inning. And already with one out, Semo now looking for a chance to get some more runners. That's just what they need. They just need to keep getting base hits, get as many base runners as possible. Sydney Miles swings on the first pitch she sees. It's popped out into left field. Mo Hance tracked it down and was able to make the catch. 2 down now for the Panthers of Eastern Illinois to bring up Kinley Wilkins. Look at that replay from Sydney Miles' most recent pop out. It was caught by Mo Hance out there in left field. Carly McKenzie getting visited by Abby Hatton. And we have a pinch hitter for Semo. It seems like it won't be Kinley Wilkins to hit. It'll be Jaylee Walder. Jaylee Walder, a local star. She's from Jackson, Missouri. Walder lays down the bunt. Still able, and I'm talking about Carly McKenzie, the pitcher, still able to get Semo to pop the ball up even on a bunt. She's doing a really good job of keeping Semo under the ball. Jaylee Walder up right now. I mentioned she's from Jackson. If you're familiar with the area, Jackson just about 15, 20 minutes away from Cape Girardeau. The city's very close. You see lots of people from Jackson High School coming to Semo to attend school, to play sports. You got J.P. Sauer, for example, one of Semo's baseball pitchers, who's from Jackson High School. And now Jaylee Walder, one of Semo's softball hitters, getting some action today. Walder swings, fouls it off. She'll still have 2 strikes against her. Eastern Illinois had their first 3 runs scored by Abby Hatton. She hit a 3-run home run. Their second 3 runs scored off of the bat of Abby Hatton, who hit a 3 RBI double. Hatton's double was a 2 RBI double. They did walk in a run. Willow Van Haren did walk in a run. So 1 run is due to Willow Van Haren, who was pitching. All other 5 runs are due to the bat of Abby Hatton. She has 5 RBIs today. 0-2 count to Walder. McKenzie comes back and finds the zone. or misses the zone. She comes back. Walder comes back and is able to watch that ball go just a bit outside. Carly McKenzie will deliver. Walder swings and fouls it off again. Looks like it went right by first base coach there for SEMO. It's Brian Wallen over there at first base. Was unable to get his hands on it. Good effort, though, coach. Jaylee Walder doing a good job of staying alive. Her very first pitch, as you saw in this at bat, she squared the bunt down. We might have thought that she might have bunted, but now with the 1-2 count, she's been swinging. We know she's not bunting, doing a good job of staying alive. Will she get on base? She will strike out, looking a strikeout for Carly McKenzie. Eastern Illinois up 5. It's EIU 6, SEMO 1. We'll see you in the top of the 5th. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex.
Leading off the 5th inning for Eastern Illinois, the third baseman.
Eastern Illinois currently leads the ball game 6-1. We were talking about it earlier. They scored their first 3 runs off the bat of Abby Hatton, who hit a 3-run shot. Then SEMO walked in a run, and then Hatton again, as we see a deep fly ball into the left foul territory by Eastern Illinois. It won't be caught by SEMO, so just an 0-1 count for Sophia Ullman. And by the way, Summer Branch is in to pitch right now. We do have a pitching change. Willow Van Haren out. Summer Branch is into the game, the freshman from Holtz Summit, Missouri. Abby Hatton has been the star of this game for Eastern Illinois. That was all I was trying to get at earlier. She has 5 RBIs, and Eastern Illinois has 6 runs. Hatton's father played some ball at SEMO, so she's not up to bat right now. We won't talk about Mr. Vern Hatton, but man, did he put some genes in her. She is making her name be known here around this SEMO complex. 6-1 Eastern Illinois' way. Summer Branch looking to keep the score low, looking to keep Illinois off of the runs for the rest of this ball game. That's why she was brought in here. Summer Branch, a freshman. The last 2 pitchers for SEMO we saw were juniors, and Carney and Van Haren. Branch, a freshman. Swung on by Ullman. And she is getting a hold of the ball. She's just pulling it a little bit too much right now. Sophia Ullman, a junior from South Elgin, Illinois. Delivery from Branch to Ullman. Fouled again. Ullman finding the softball. She's making contact. Last year through 40 games, Sophia Ullman started 37 of the 40 games at catcher. It's impressive stuff to do. I don't know how the knees don't get beat up. And also for SEMO, Gracie Luna, who's catching. We'll see what these two do throughout the weekend. Will they switch out? Will they play catcher all weekend? Just a tough position to be at all weekend. A walk for Sophia Ullman. Summer Branch started the AB up ahead, but just unable to get it done. No outs, a runner on first. We'll bring up Mo Hance to bat. So out in the field right now for SEMO, we saw Jaylee Walder come in and pinch hit. She is staying out there in the field. Jaylee Walder is out there in center. Lily Delmain, who was at center first, just moved to the DP position, the extra hitter. And what a bunt laid down there by Eastern Illinois. They're going to advance Sophia Ullman over to second base. It's going to be a bunt for Mo Hance, who successfully makes it to first. And with no outs, SEMO now has a runner in scoring position, a runner on first, and they're facing Lexi Griffin. Griffin gets a hold of this ball. It's over to Martini at short. Martini was able to keep the ball in front of her, but she couldn't field it cleanly here. Top of the fifth, Summer Branch, her first action, throws the strike to Griffin. Griffin gets a hold of it, and it's played to Addie Martini, but it's just unable to be fielded. Guys, I got a stat for us. SEMO and Eastern Illinois are first and second in fielding percentage in the entire OVC. These teams are first and second. SEMO is first with a 9.67 fielding percentage. They field the ball 96.7% of the time, perfectly clean. Addie Martini on that last play gave up the air. The most rare player on the SEMO infield to make an error, and just a team, as mentioned, who's first in the OVC, just doesn't make errors that often. Walder makes the catch in center field. We'll see if there's a tag. She made the throw home. There was no tag. So Summer Branch does just what she needed to do, which is retire a batter, getting out. She gets her first out in her first inning here. Bases still loaded, and up to bat next will be Maribeth Dyson. It's Maddox Marshall. It was Dyson who was just up. It's Marshall up to bat right now. See the bench of Eastern Illinois. Got to be excited over there if you're the Panthers. 6-1 lead so far. One out, bases loaded. SEMO defense gonna have to step up like we know they can and hold the Panthers here. This SEMO team is also, they're first in the OVC in fielding percentage. They're also first in the OVC in giving up runs. SEMO has given up the least amount of runs compared to every single other team in the Ohio Valley Conference. They have given up the least. Just as a comparison to their opponent, Eastern Illinois has given up 201 runs to every opponent so far this season. SEMO has given up 164. That goes for best in the OVC as Marshall sends this ball into right field. It's caught by Lily Delmain. She immediately makes the throw into the infield. And some good outfielding by the Redhawks is going to cause Summer Branch to get 2 outs. They had the bases loaded with no outs. If SEMO's able to get out of this inning without a run given up, that's just fantastic softball right there. Top of the lineup back for the Panthers. Chloe Wambold up to bat now. Wambold has struck out in her last 2 ABs. She leads this team in average. She's got 2 strikeouts today. Wambold watches this pitch go for a strike. Summer Branch gets back on the rubber. Here's a delivery, a little bit low, but Gracie Luna, good job of bodying up and keeping that ball in front of her. Summer Branch now with a 2-1 count. Summer Branch delivers. Wambolt hits it over to third. It was off the glove of Sydney Miles. She knocked the ball down, but it just kept dribbling in the infield. That's going to be a run scored for Eastern Illinois. It's now 7-1 Panthers' way, and they're still going. 2 outs. Chloe Wambolt gets the RBI. And SEMO, the team who's first in the entire league in fielding percentage, makes their second mishap of the inning. So delivery from Branch. Lizzie Silverson, who's up to bat. Delivered by Branch is a ball, a 2-0 count to Lizzie Silverson, who is a senior here for the Eastern Illinois Panthers. She's in her first season here with Eastern Illinois. Branch delivers. Tried to get the changeup in on Stuyvesant. Lizzie Stuyvesant up to bat right now. Delivery from Branch. Stuyvesant swings on it. It's belted into center field. Jaylee Walder was there to make the catch. SEMO, only 1 run given up here in the 5th. It's Eastern Illinois 7, SEMO 1. Bottom of the 5th coming right back. We'll see you there. OVC softball on ESPN+.
Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
In Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning, and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home.
Back on the mound is Carly McKenzie for Eastern Illinois. They don't have a reason to take her out of the game. Why should they? Up to bat for the Redhawks. Looks like it's Lily Delmain. Delmain swings on the first pitch she sees. Delmain, a freshman from Cedar Hill, Missouri, went to Eureka High School. Talk about it briefly here. I won't mention it again today, I promise. Lily Delmain from Eureka. Maddie Carney, the starting pitcher from Marquette. So you got some Rockwood School District little ties there if you're familiar with the St. Louis County area. Those two teams were rivals. Your play-by-play broadcaster today, myself, went to Lafayette. So you got 3 Rockwood schools in there. Our producer today, Alex Hayden, the student producer for today's game, went to Rockwood Summit High School. So you got all 4 Rockwood School District high schools being represented by SEMO today. That note a little bit over. Here is a grounder by Delmain. They say it went off of her foot, though, so a foul ball. And you can tell by the way Delmain's walking, it definitely went off of her foot. Delmain from Eureka has done a fantastic job at coming to this SEMO team and making an immediate impact. She even has been starting games at center field, a spot that was basically solidified by Madison Winkler. Coach Redburn has moved Winkler to right field, and Delmain has started at center in lots of games. Now, she did start in center in this game. She's been moved to right after Jaylee Walder came in and subbed in, and Delmain is going to have a hit, maybe extras. She'll stay at first. Lily Delmain, right as we're talking about how much impact she's made as a freshman, makes some more. And if you're SEMO, that is just the start that you needed. You need as many runs as possible. You need as many hits as possible. You're down 6 right now. You just take what you can get. You take what the defense gives you. And Lily Delmain did just that. She put the ball in play, and that's all you can ask for. Camden Hutton now up to bat, the start of the lineup for the Red Hawks. Lily Delmain, absolutely a stealing threat over there on first base. Just something to watch. Here's a delivery to Hutton. Hutton watches this ball. They're going to call it a strike. As you see, just a quick mound visit from the Panthers. Very quick mound visit. It was Wambolt who went over there to go talk to her pitcher. McKenzie steps right back on the rubber, and we are in play. Here's the delivery to Camden Hutton. She got her on that high heat earlier in this ball game. Tried to catch her on the high heat yet again. Just unable to do so. Carly McKenzie, the senior, trying to knock out the junior, Camden Hutton. It's a delivery from McKenzie. Tried to get Hutton on the high heat again. Just a bit too high. 2-2 count to Camden Hutton. The delivery from McKenzie. Hutton swings on it. It's going to rip through the infield. Lily Delmain will advance. Camden Hutton's going to go ahead and go to second, and they are going to say that she's safe. Delmain advances to third. Hutton with the heads-up aggressive base running. The second that ball was thrown to Delmain at third, she advances to second, and EIU, although Camden Hutton had some great base running, EIU they were there. They were aware that she was going. It was just a throw that was too late for the quick and speedy Hutton. So, with no outs, SEMO down 6, has 2 runners in scoring position on second and third. Their second batter in the lineup, Brittany Afalter, is up to bat. And that's all I got to say. We'll see if SEMO is going to have some action right here. They're really hoping that Afalter can continue this hitting streak for McKenzie in Eastern Illinois. They're hoping that she can just add another strikeout to the board. She's got 4 so far today. Carly McKenzie does not only start, she also comes in to get this team some saves. We'll talk about Carly McKenzie's saves after this pitch to Brittany Afalter. Tries to get her with the high heat. Afalter won't go. Carly McKenzie last year, all OVC first team. OVC tournament MVP. She also records 6 saves for this team. She went 11-3 in her starts, only dropped 3 losses. She had 6 saves for Eastern Illinois as well. That tied a school record as the first strike to Afalter is thrown. That's right, a record holder, Carly McKenzie, is 6 saves, is tied for single most in an Eastern Illinois softball single season. She did that just last year. And not only was she first on Eastern Illinois in saves, as Afalter pops this softball up into center field, you're absolutely going to see a tag from Lily Delmain. Camden Hutton advances to third once the ball was thrown. And although Brittany Afalter has not recorded a hit today, she is still 0-1. SEMO's only 2 runs are both from sacrifice flies from Brittany Afalter. 1 out, runner still in scoring position. Brings up Madison Winkler. Carly McKenzie delivers to Winkler. Winkler lays down the bunt. It stays in fair territory, and it's unable to be fielded by Stuyvesant. So the runner advances to third, and Madison Winkler is able to reach base. And now we're going to see a mound visit from not only Dan Paulson. We'll see both co-head coaches, Christy and Dan Paulson, head to the mound. Carly McKenzie here started this game. She's in the 5th inning. We'll just have to see if she continues or if we're going to take a look at somebody else. Dan and his wife, Christy Paulson, the co-head coaches for Eastern Illinois, both went to Eastern Illinois, and we just got to talk about them all weekend because how impressive is it for a wife and husband? It's pretty cool to see some co-head coaches, but how impressive is it for them for in their first season to not only win the regular season title, but to win the OVC tournament championship and earn a bid to the NCAA tournament. Pretty cool if you're the Paulsons. You see Coach Dan Paulson walking back to the dugout now. Christy Paulson still in there with the girls. She now walks back, and it's official. Carly McKenzie will stay in the game. Just needed some hype, just needed some pep, and she's going to have to get out of this inning if Eastern Illinois wants to only give up 2 runs to SEMO. If they want to give up more, then SEMO's going to have to take that, and they're going to have to hit right now. Dan Paulson going to the home plate umpire. Looks like we're going to have some substitutions. We won't see a pitching change, but we might have some substitutions. Dan and Christy Paulson are not the only members of this Eastern Illinois staff. Denise Godwin, also an assistant coach for this team. She's in her first year with assistant coach, but prior to here, she was still a coach. She was actually head coach last year in the previous few years at the University of the Ozarks. So we are seeing these substitutions be made for Eastern Illinois. You see who's walking into the game right now. It's Brianna French. So we actually are going to have a pitching change. We're going to take a quick break to let Brianna French warm up. Carly McKenzie out, Brianna French in. We'll see you in a second. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. We're fresh off a pitching change. Brianna French is now into the game for Eastern Illinois. Their 2 star pitchers, McKenzie and French, both getting in the game today. French, hopefully for them, coming in to close it out. For SEMO, they're looking to get some adjusted hits. It's Aubrey Shore up to bat versus French. And that was a nasty first pitch from Brianna French. Brianna French has a 4.4 ERA heading into this game. It is the lowest for a Panther, the lowest on the team. She has the lowest ERA. Foul tip is tipped off by Aubrey Shore. Brianna French has started 6 games so far this season, but she's appeared in 25. So showing up more as a reliever this year than a starter. But you know how it works in softball. You got relievers, you got starters kind of jumbled into the same position sometimes. She's a senior from Illinois herself. She's from Centralia, Illinois. She went to Christ R. Rock Lutheran High School. That's Brianna French. Not the only player on her squad to go to Christ R. Rock Lutheran High School. 1-2 pitch delivered outside to Aubrey Shore. Aubrey Shore 0 for 2 so far today. She is one of SEMO's few players, and there is a few of them, who hits over 300 on the day, or on the season, excuse me. She's up to 305 as a batting average. Hits it over there to the shortstop Wambolt, and it's fielded by Chloe Wambolt over at short. Successfully thrown to Aubrey Shore at first. So they do get an out. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. Addie Martini was the previous hitter. It looks like it's Lily Blago who's going to hit now. And so SEMO does strike again. They get on the board. It's 7-3 Eastern Illinois' way. SEMO now with 2 outs. That doesn't mean that you can't keep playing. SEMO just going to have to go unscathed. No more outs for the rest of the inning. They can make a little bottom of the 5th comeback. Here's the first pitch to Blago. Delivered a strike. Delivery from French to Blago. A little bit low. One count. Blago swings on this pitch. It's deep into left field. It will be caught by the left fielder, Mo Hance. What a play out there. Warning track from Lily Blago, but it was just even better defense from Mo Hance. We're going to see you in the top of the 6th. Eastern Illinois 7, SEMO 3. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. Summer Branch still on the mound for the Red Hawks. It's Alicia Frederick up to bat for the Panthers of Eastern Illinois. Eastern Illinois still up 7-3. SEMO was able to score a couple runs in the bottom of the 5th frame as a grounder is hit past first base for Alicia Frederick. She gets it past the first basewoman Aubrey Shore, who was just unable to get there. It was a hard pulled ground ball. Good piece of hitting for Frederick. She gets on base pretty early for Eastern Illinois. They're going to work to keep getting runs on the board. That's going to bring up none other than Abby Hatton up to bat. Abby Hatton responsible for 5 of these 7 runs at least, you could say. She has 5 RBIs. She hit that 3-run home run earlier in this game, and then she also had a 2 RBI double. So that's how she got those 5 RBIs. Just about every run that Eastern Illinois has earned has been from Abby Hatton's bat. She's only a sophomore. She's from Negra, Illinois. Went to Effingham St. Anthony High School. 2-1 count now for Abby Hatton, the 6-foot sophomore. Last year, obviously she's a sophomore. Last year when she was a freshman, she was named to the All-OVC newcomers team. Hit a .285 average as a freshman. Had 7 doubles in 4 home runs last year. Now, over halfway into the season, but the season's not close to being over. She's got 5 home runs. So already more home runs than she did last year. Hatton just building as she should as an athlete. Hatton lines out to Aubrey Shore at first base, and they double up Frederick. Just unfortunate for Abby Hatton. Gets a good piece of the ball. Aubrey Shore even defense. We're going to need to take a look at that replay. What heads-up softball by Aubrey Shore. She's able to dive and get Frederick. And in softball, you guys know, you can't get a lead until the ball is thrown. And here is a ball ripped on by Sophia Ullman. This one deep into left field. It looks like Sophia Ullman has took Summer Branch deep. The second home run of the day for Eastern Illinois. They are first in the OVC in home runs. Ullman makes it 21 on the season for the Panthers.
The left fielder, number 4, Mo Hance.
And fresh off of a defensive magician-type play for Aubrey Shore, she pulled a double play out of nowhere. Eastern Illinois pulls a home run out of nowhere. Sophia Ullman taking Summer Branch deep. The second home run of the day, both by Eastern Illinois. And as mentioned before, this team is first in the entire conference in home runs. They had 19 coming into today, and they're showing just how they are first. They now have 21. 2 outs for Eastern Illinois, or 2 outs for SEMO, I suppose I should say. Got the double play thanks to Aubrey Shore, who caught the line out from Abby Hatton and was able to double off the runner. Frederick at first. That's a foul tip caught by Gracie Luna. Is that going to be an out? We're going to need to look at that replay. That was a foul tip by the Panthers. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, it's just a foul tip, so the strike is what's going to be scored. Mo Hance, fresh off of that, pops up to the second basewoman, Camden Hutton. And Sophie Ullman gets on the board herself, puts Eastern Illinois up another run. It's Eastern Illinois 8, SEMO 3. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. We are back here in the Southeast Softball Complex. Gracie Luna up to bat. Brianna French, who came in for relief of Carly McKenzie, is still in today's ball game. Presumably Brianna French, unless everything breaks loose for SEMO, will finish this game. 0-1 count to Gracie Luna from Peoria, Illinois. Delivered to Luna. Luna gets it over to Wamble at shortstop. The stretch by Hatton at first is going to get Gracie Luna out in time. This Eastern Illinois infield is impressive. The outfield is as well, but man, how many plays has the infield of the Panthers made today? And how many plays has Chloe Wamble at shortstop made the play? Anytime I've mispronounced her name, I'm deeply sorry. Chloe Wamble is an absolute menace at shortstop. She's making these plays just seem easy, and she's making backhanded diving plays seem easy, plays that you know are not easy. Sydney Miles now up to bat. Swings from the left-hand side, throws righty, starts at third base. Miles 1 for 2 so far today. She went to Park Hills Central High School, Sydney Miles, whose batting did. That pitch is delivered just a bit outside. Sydney Miles hit over 550 in her entire career at Park Hills Central. That was her average at Park Hills Central in her junior high school year, which is 2 years ago for her. Hit 605, 605 in a season. 60% of the time that she came up to bat, she was getting a hit. Pretty impressive if you ask me. Brianna French, though, having some real impressive numbers. She's here in her second season at Eastern Illinois. She will now deliver the 3-1 pitch to Miles, which is going to find the zone. It'll be full now for Sydney Miles. Brianna French previously went to Lakeland College, which is located in Mattoon, Illinois. Just a fun fact for you, the co-head coaches, the Paulsons, also from Lakeland College. They coached there in their career. It's going to be a walk for Sydney Miles. So, SEMO, after Gracie Luna gets out, Sydney Miles is going to walk. So the pitcher, Brianna French, a senior, we were just talking about her. So she used to play at Lakeland Community College. Lakeland College, which is a college in Mattoon, Illinois, as mentioned before. We talked about the Paulsons coaching there. That was incorrect. The co-head coach, Christy Paulson, also used to play at Lakeland College. What a small world. Your head coach used to play at the same school that you transfer from. Brianna French, ever since the Paulsons have been coaching here at EIU, Brianna French transferred over. And she's just been a star for this squad ever since. Anyway, 0-1 count. It's Jaylee Walder up to bat right now. Walder subbed in earlier in this game. Came in for Kinley Wilkins. Kinley Wilkins was DPing, or as you could say, designated hitting. It's called the DH in baseball, DP in softball. Now Walder comes in, but she got moved into center field. She's playing a little bit of the outfield. The pitch from French, just a bit outside of our umpire's zone. A 2-1 count to Walder. French just looking to work back, looking to find the zone. Pitch is delivered, a strike from French. And it is Kinley Wilkins who is hitting right now. Kinley Wilkins was subbed out for Walder earlier in the game. Wilkins now back to bat. Here's the 2-2 count. Swung on by Wilkins and fouled off. She stays alive. Kinley Wilkins, a junior, been here at SEMO her entire career, and she's going to get on base. I don't know what was called. Dan Paulson also going to have to ask our home plate umpire what was called. Kinley Wilkins is gifted first base. SEMO now, theoretically, with runners on first and second with one out. So the immediate confusion from the Panthers bench. See our field umpire talking to Sydney Miles there at second base. Lots of congregation going on. The infield for the Panthers, Dan Paulson, the head coach for Eastern Illinois, talking to his squad. We just got to see what the final play will be. But the play on the court, or the play on the field, excuse me, is Kinley Wilkins will be gifted the base. Need to take a look at what our umpire is communicating here. And we got the umpires gathered up here in the infield talking to one another. Dan Paulson, a very analytical coach here for Eastern Illinois. You've seen it a couple times today. He likes to talk to the umpires, and not in a bad way. He just likes to get clarification. It's a thing a good coach does. You often see him challenging, just trying to make sure that his team gets all of the right calls. Now the umpire still gathering up, trying to figure out what the correct call would be. Seems like Dan Paulson's giving him a little bit of a hard time. Call is going to be made by our home plate umpire, and it will stand on the field. Kinley Wilkins is going to get the base. Sydney Miles advances to second, and that brings up Lily Delmain, who has now moved back into center field defensively, if you're wondering what the next inning is going to look like. But Delmain faces Brianna French for the time being. First pitch to Delmain, finds the zone. Brianna French goes up 0-1 here pretty quick. Lily Delmain, 2 for 2 so far today. Also has a .326 batting average after going 2 for 2 today. She's up to hitting .323. Delivery from French. She's rocking in the dirt, but it's going to be fielded by Sophie Ullman. Delmain swings on this pitch, and it just drops out of her zone. French has a low dropping pitch. I don't know if it's a changeup or what off speed that she's throwing. I'm going to assume and say changeup, but I just say that I don't know for sure because I don't want to be wrong. But that changeup or whatever pitch that is, it drops a lot. French fouled off by Delmain. Delmain doing a good job of staying alive. See lots of Eastern Illinois players encouraging their pitcher, making sure she's all good. You'll see the catcher, Sophia Ullman, often when she throws the ball back, step in front of home plate, just make sure French is all good. We've seen it a few times here already. On that last play, you saw Chloe Wambolt going in there, giving her teammates some encouragement. So delivery from French to Delmain. Delmain swings. It's popped up, but it won't be in the arena. It'll be a foul ball. Still a full count for Lily Delmain. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Eastern Illinois up 8-3. They scored their first 3 runs in the 3rd, their second 3 in the 4th, and it's been 1 every inning since. 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. Outside for Delmain. What an at-bat by the freshman. Lily Delmain earns herself another base. And now for SEMO, down 5. They have the bases loaded with 1 out. Delmain now at first. Sydney Miles now at third. Kinley Wilkins now at second. Brings up their very first batter, their leadoff hitter, Camden Hutton, up to bat with the bases loaded. First pitch to Hutton will be found a strike. Camden Hutton from Poolville, Texas, trying to get her team on the board yet again. She's been doing a pretty good job of that so far this season. Hutton swings to chop her up the middle. It's going to be fielded. No, it'll be missed by Wamble. It goes into center field. The throw from Dyson is off target. That's going to allow Hutton to move to second, Delmain to move to third, and Camden Hutton, a 2 RBI single, is going to get SEMO 2 more runs and 3 runs closer to Eastern Illinois' 8. Wow, what a hit there by Camden Hutton. It went off of the glove or under the glove of Chloe, shortstop. And she is just so good there at shortstop. She doesn't make misses often. She does make one today. Crucial for SEMO at the time that they're at right now. Hutton at second. Delmain at third. You got some speedsters on the base paths. And now you got another discussion being had at the center of the mound. Dan Paulson now out there for the Panthers, talking to Brianna French, talking to Abby Hatton, talking to Silverson, talking to Chloe Wamble. She's talking to them all. And we got French still talking to her squad. Umpires gathering. Dan Paulson has seemingly brought something up to the umpires' attention yet again. SEMO, thanks to Camden Hutton, will have all runners be recorded as safe. There will still be a 3-run lead for Eastern Illinois. Up 8-5. Christy and Dan Paulson take a seat there by their bench. And Brittany Afalter will be up for SEMO. Madison Winkler on deck talking to her head coach, Mark Redburn. Brittany Afalter has had 2 sac flies today already. SEMO previously, before this inning, only had 2 runs. And they were both off of the bat of Brittany Afalter. So on the score sheet, Afalter would read 0-1 today. She's had 3 at-bats. But those 2 sac flies don't actually count as an at-bat. They don't go against you because you did something positive. So Afalter 0 for 1 today. Let's see what she does here. Fouls this ball off, and now she's going to work from behind from 0-2. Brianna French, lowest ERA holder on this EIU squad. We were talking about it before. She had a 4.4 ERA coming into this trip here. SEMO looking to get those numbers up. They've put her at 3 earned runs in her couple of innings currently, so it's definitely bringing that ERA up. They're looking to bring it up some more, though. 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the pitch to Afalter. Afalter swings on it. It's going to be flew into left field. It's going to be another tagging position. Delmain went And maybe she could have gone. She will go now. Lily Delmain goes home and is called safe. The softball beat her there, but Lily Delmain was able to evade the tag. SEMO 6, Eastern Illinois 8. We'll take a look at that replay. Look at this inbound throw by Mo Hance from left field. The softball from the pitcher French to the catcher Ullman absolutely beat Lily Delmain there. But the umpire said that Lily Delmain was safe. We're going to have a challenge yet again by Dan Polson. This one absolutely warranted. Call on the field is that the run was scored 8-6 Eastern Illinois' way. But man, was that close. You saw Brittany Falter, who, by the way, already has 2 sac flies today, almost has another one, although it won't go down as a sacrifice fly by the way the play went down. She flew out to left. Mo Hance threw the ball in. Lily Delmain started the tag. The third base head coach told her to go back, but you see what happened. The passed ball let Delmain attempt to advance again, but Dan Polson doesn't think so, and neither does this Eastern Illinois squad. It'll be 1 out if the play is confirmed. And 6 runs confirmed. We'll take a look at the slowed down replay. We called Delmain safe at home. Now, you have to remember that these instant replay cameras umpires are looking at are different than the ones we're looking at here on broadcast. Here's the slow-mo look. The throw beats her, but did the tag beat her? It doesn't look like to me. No, I'm sitting here looking at the TV screen. Mind you that. It doesn't look like to me that the tag was applied before Delmain hit home plate with her hand. That's why she would be called safe. That's why the home plate umpire, Corey Hastings, called it that way. But you have to remember that these guys are looking at 6 different camera angles on an iPad. That's how the instant replay works. They are literally looking at 6 different camera angles at the school. You see one right there on the screen. That's one of those cameras that they use for instant replay. So they have different camera angles than we have. Maybe we have a good look at it. They might have a better look at it and from different angles. They can slow that thing down. They can zoom it up. They can watch the last 30 seconds. They can do whatever they want to on that instant replay iPad. The umpire's looking at that right now, trying to see what the call is. If you're confused why Corey Hastings, the home plate umpire, isn't there reviewing, how it works is the home plate umpire, or I should say the umpire who makes the call, is not the one to go to the review. It's actually the umpires who didn't make the call. The secondary umpires will now either confirm or deny the umpire who originally made the call. Here's the call on the field, and Lily Delmain is safe. The tag was not applied in time, an unsuccessful challenge for Eastern Illinois. And SEMO now is the score 8-6 Eastern Illinois' way, and only 1 out has been recorded. Brings Madison Winkler up to bat. You got a runner on base. Camden Hutton still at third base. Madison Winkler looking to continue this inning that the Redhawks are having. Ball in the dirt, but scooped up by Ullman. It's exactly the type of defensive tenacity you need right here in this moment. Eastern Illinois trying to preserve a lead. Winkler watches this ball go a bit outside. That'll be a 2-1 count for the senior from Crofton, Kentucky. Brianna French delivers. Winkler swings and tips it off. Madison Winkler 1 for 2 so far in today's game. She's got a .346 average, a .346 average coming into this at-bat. Madison Winkler is SEMO's one returner who made an All-OVC team last year. She made All-OVC first team in 2025, and now she returned to the squad. Winkler, a full count, fresh off a couple of SEMO runs. SEMO now only down 2. Hutton's at third base right now. That's Camden Hutton who's running on third. Here's the full count delivery from French. Winkler swings, and Brianna French gets her to go on strikes. Eastern Illinois 8, SEMO with a little comeback 6. We'll see you in the last frame. You're watching OVC softball on ESPN+.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls, come on. And y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Welcome back into the Southeast Softball Complex. We are fresh off of a 3-run Red Hawks inning. They have made the comeback. They're now within 2. Into the game is the starting pitcher of today's match. It's Maddie Carney. Maddie Carney started this ball game. Then Willow Van Haren came in for relief. Then Summer Branch came in for relief. And now in relief of Summer Branch is Maddie Carney, who started today's game. You gotta love softball. 4 different arms in the game. It's only 3 different arms. 4th pitching change for SEMO. But Carney has already pitched today. Eastern Illinois did hit a home run off of her in the 3rd inning. It was Abby Hatton who hit a home run off of her earlier this game. So they pulled Carney after that, brought in Van Haren, brought in Branch, and now to close the game out, they're going to bring in Maddie Carney yet again. Carney now finds the zone. Up to bat right now for Eastern Illinois. It's Lexi Griffin. Carney delivers a ball. Lexi Griffin hitting .245 coming into this game. Lexi Griffin leads this team in home runs. So, watch out. Abby Hatton, as we just were mentioning, hit a home run earlier in today's ball game to bring the score to 3-0. Then, Sophia Ullman also hit a home run earlier in this game. We've already seen 2 homers by the Eastern Illinois Panthers. No homers by SEMO. Actually, no homers by SEMO at home yet at all this season. But nonetheless, they're making the runs come from somewhere. They're doing good at hitting. Lexi Griffin now with the bunt formation shown. She pulls back and just wasn't ready to swing after that. Just checked that ball, but she did get a ball on the bat. So she stays alive. Full count now for Lexi Griffin. For anybody at home, a full count means that it is a 3-2 count. The pitch from Carney to Griffin. Swung on, and that is going to be a strikeout. Luna might have thought it was a drop third strike. You got to throw it anyway just in case, but great pitching from Maddie Carney, even though that was her first batter faced in the 7th that she didn't pitch last inning. That was her 3rd strikeout of the game. It's because she's already pitched 3 innings, in case you weren't picking up what I was putting down. Brings Maribeth Dyson up to bat now for the Panthers. Here's the pitch for Maddie Carney. The changeup is going to find the zone. Maribeth Dyson nearly out of the batter's box by the time that ball hit Gracie Luna's glove. Just a slow pitch that Maribeth Dyson was not ready for. The delivery from Carney coming with the heat. Dyson slings it on over to Miles at third. She makes the play, and guns are down. Sydney Miles with some velocity on the softball. It'll now bring up Maddox Marshall up to bat next, and I just got excited because Sydney Miles showing how good she is over there on the hot corner, throwing that softball real fast over to Aubrey Shore at first and able to get Maribeth Dyson. Dyson was named to the OVC Notable Performance list this week. She wasn't an OVC Player of the Week, but she did have a notable enough performance to be one of the 8 players in the entire conference were proposed to be notable. They were supposedly notable. Maribeth Dyson was one of those after last week. You know who else was one of those? Brianna French, the pitcher who's on the mound for Eastern Illinois, when we'll see you in the bottom of the 7th. One more player in today's game was one of the 8 in the notable performers this week in the Ohio Valley Conference. It was Camden Hutton, the second baseman for SEMO. Maddie Carney now with a 1-2 count to Maddox Marshall. Here's the delivery. Marshall swings, grounds over to Martini at short. Martini throws, and it goes high over the head of Aubrey Shore at first, nearly in the dugout of Eastern Illinois. And with 2 outs, base runner is given up in the 7th. Here's a look at that replay. Martini had to get that ball over to first real quick. That's just what happened there. She had to get the ball over there as quick as possible. And now for SEMO, they got to face the top of the lineup. It's Chloe Wambolt up to bat now. Chloe Wambolt 0 for 4 in today's ball game, but don't let that fool you if this is the first Eastern Illinois softball game that you've watched all season. Chloe Wambolt leads this team in average with a .338 average. She's got 13 RBIs, and she does it all. 9-10 fielding percentage, a 91% from fielding. You've seen her at shortstop all day. If you can recall any of the Eastern Illinois diving plays from the shortstop position, we've seen 2 of them today. They've both been from Wambolt. She just hasn't gotten the bat to work this afternoon. Not yet. Wambolt swings. And Carney earns the strike. Now a 1-2 count. Chloe Wambolt from Kenosha, Wisconsin originally, now here in Eastern Illinois. Off speed by Carney goes a little bit low. Wambolt is a junior. This is her first season at Eastern Illinois. Last couple seasons, she was playing collegiate softball. It was just at Rock Valley College. Grounder to Carney. Fielded and played to first. Maddie Carney in her second appearance today is untouched. It's Eastern Illinois 8, SEMO 6. We'll see you for the last chance the Red Hawks got in the bottom of the 7th. You're watching OVC Softball on ESPN+. are back in the Southeast Softball Complex. Aubrey Shore up to bat. Bottom of the 7th. Eastern Illinois up 2. Can SEMO complete the comeback, or will Eastern Illinois win the first doubleheader of today's matchup? Only time will tell. Pitch delivered by French, but not for a strike. So Aubrey Shore now faces a 1-0 count. Shore is 0 for 3 so far today. Looking for her first hit. Watches this pitch in for a strike. Aubrey Shore is now 7th all-time in SEMO RBIs. All-time, Aubrey Shore has hit the 7th most RBIs. She has 113 RBIs all-time. You haven't been here with us all season, and when I say all season, I just mean the first series versus Tennessee State. That's the only games we've streamed here at Southeast Missouri. Aubrey Shore is very much familiar with this team, with this coach, with this field. She's been here since 2022. She's a senior. Aubrey Shore now fouls the ball off, so she stays alive here with a 2-2 count. Shore was named the 2023 OVC Player of the Year. She was here last year. Last year was supposedly her senior season, but unfortunately Shore suffered a season-ending back injury, one in which she didn't play a single game. So, Shore now singles in to right field. They tried to get her at first. The unwritten rule broken. Aubrey Shore does not matter to her. She's able to run out the single. So Aubrey Shore last year misses the year, granted an extra year of eligibility, now making it, stacking herself onto the record board some more. Aubrey Shore gets her first hit of the day, and SEMO now in the bottom of the 7th with a runner on, with no outs. It's different when there's no runners, but now they got runners with no outs. We're seeing some substitutions be made.
Pinch running at first base for the Redhawks is number 18, Kaylin Yemnitz.
But in the meantime, we know who the next batter is going to be, possibly, unless she is subbed out. She is not. Of course she's not. It's Addie Martini up to bat. Here's the first pitch that Martini will see from French here in the bottom of the 7th. The tying run now up to bat for SEMO. Throw from Brianna French. The steal is occurring at second base. It was Yamnitz who came in to pinch run, and she successfully steals second. So Kaylin Yamnitz, Aubrey Shore, as we see here. Here's a replay of the steal. Great angle. Yamnitz, good jump, just beat the throw by a millisecond. It's got to be nerve-wracking to come in the game. First order as a pinch runner is to steal, but she does so successfully. And because she was able to get the steal, Addie Martini now trying to lay down the bunt to advance her some more. Unable to do so now. And now Redburn's going to call a timeout. Going to talk to his players. Addie Martini gathers. Kaylin Yamnitz, the runner on second, gathers. And now the infield of Eastern Illinois will gather. That timeout was called because Redburn, who was calling for bunt for Martini on the last play, didn't like what he saw, so he just has to tell the team an update of what he wants. It's Coach Mark Redburn. This is his 12th season here at SEMO. Under his leadership, the Redhawks have won 2 OVC tournament crowns. So they've won the entire thing twice, in 2019 and most recently a couple years ago in 2024. In that 2024 championship game, SEMO beat Eastern Illinois. That's right, they beat Eastern Illinois to become the 2024 OVC champions. Now these two teams matching up here again in the 2026 season. It's going to be Addie Martini to face the 1-2 pitch. Martini swings and will strike out. So the first out recorded by Brianna French is an essential one. Now up to bat will be Gracie Luna for the Red Hawks. Luna is 1 for 3 today. The last at bat, she grounded out to the shortstop. Gracie Luna sees the first pitch. Kaylin Yamnitz back there on second base, you can see, for the Red Hawks. Yamnitz does a good job at coming in a pinch run. She's a freshman from Peevely, Missouri. Went to Herculaneum High School. And now Gracie Luna up to bat. How about that? I'm going to say it one more time. Kaylin Yamnitz, a grad from Herculaneum High School. Gracie Luna, a grad from East Peoria. Maybe not as fun to say as Herculaneum, but still a cool high school. Gracie Luna, 1-1 count now. Gets the ball, and it's going to be down. Runners will advance. Martini, we'll see where Martini advanced to. Gracie Luna, a single, is going to advance Addie Martini to third base. Gracie Luna reaches first base, and now it's going to bring up a new hitter for SEMO, Sydney Miles. What a piece of hitting for Gracie Luna. And with 1 out, the Red Hawks will now pinch run for her again. Gracie Luna out. And it looks like Abby Robbins is in, the senior. So you got Abby Robbins, the senior, on the base pass over there on first base. And you got Kaylin Yamnitz, the freshman, over there on third base. Now, I did say earlier that Addie Martini advanced to third base. That's because on the score sheet, it technically is Martini advancing. She's the one who earned herself the base. But Yamnitz coming in to run, did a good job of advancing to third on the Gracie Luna single. Winning run is now up to bat for the Red Hawks. Bottom of the 7th, 1 out, 2 runners on. The tying run is on first base, and freshman Sydney Miles is up to bat. Now you got to note, runners on first and third. Will that runner run from first? Will they steal second? What will the runner on third do? Will she get caught in a rundown? Will she be able to score? We're about to find out. Eastern Illinois gets the 0-1 pitch in for a strike. Now 0-2 to Sydney Miles. No movement from Abby Robbins on first. Sydney Miles with 1 for 2 this game. She has also walked, which is why she only has, quote-unquote, 2 at-bats. Gets a hold of this softball. Sydney Miles is going to have an RBI. Running home is Kaylin Yamnitz, who is ready to tag if needed so, but she didn't need to. It's now 8-7 Eastern Illinois' way. Brianna French has given up another base hit and RBI. SEMO within 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Runners on first and second, still only 1 out. You see some slow walking from the infield of Eastern Illinois. We talked about it earlier. They like to encourage their team. And Dan Polson likes to talk to the umpire. No hate towards the guy. Absolutely no shade. I am just observing what I see. Dan Polson visiting the umpire for at least the 4th time today. He will now visit the mound. And we're going to need to look at where the umpires are traveling to.
Re-entering the game to pitch for the Panthers, number 17.
Might have some substitutions on the way. It looks like we're going to have a new pitcher here at the Southeast Softball Complex. So we'll keep you updated whenever we do know who that pitcher is. It is the starter of today's game. Carly McKenzie is now into the game. They say Brianna French is out. McKenzie comes back in and is hopefully going to close for the Panthers what she started. For SEMO, this is a pitcher who you have already hit off of. They're looking to keep attacking. And now we're seeing another mound visit from co-head coach Christy Paulson. So you got Christy and Dan both out there in the pitcher's mound. Carly McKenzie warming up. Christy and Dan Paulson, what a duo they've been for Eastern Illinois at Parkland College, which is where they quote-unquote transferred from. It's where they used to coach at. They had an overall record of 205 wins and 56 losses, nearly 4 times as many wins as losses the Paulson duo has, and they're doing just that at Eastern Illinois. 21-5 was their in-conference record last year. Total coming into today's game, Dan and Christy Paulson have a 34-6 record in the OVC. Through 2 years, they have only dropped 6 games to the OVC. Now, in the pitch, as mentioned, is Carly McKenzie, the starting pitcher of today's game for Eastern Illinois. We also have a pinch hitter for SEMO. It's Sophie Shoop up to bat. McKenzie will deliver. Shoop tries to bunt, and it just goes foul. Oh, 0-1 count here to Sophie Shoop. Shoop gets the bunt down this time. Fielded by the first basewoman, thrown over to first, and a successful defensive play is made by Abby Hatton. So Abby Hatton was the one to be able to get the play out at first. For SEMO, the job was done. Sophie Shoop came in to advance the runners, and she did just that. More pinch runners are going to be had. You see Coach Mark Redburn just making the adjustments that he needs. It's Jasmine Mano at second for the Redhawks. And Abby Robbins was the one on third. I presume that she is still there for the time being until I can tell you that Abby Robbins isn't at third base. It's Abby Robbins at third and just Jasmine Mano at second. Carly McKenzie still pitching. Runners on second and third. Tying run on third base is Robbins. Go-ahead run, not just go-ahead, winning run is Mano on second. And up to bat is Lily Delmain, who is already 2 for 2 in today's ball game. We'll see if she can have a walk-off to her name. Lily Delmain is going to hit the ball into the shortstop position. It's fielded by Wombat, but it's not correctly played. That's going to do it for the Redhawks. A walk-off for Lily Delmain. Chloe Wambolt was able to make the grounder. She fielded it clearly, but she wasn't able to make the throw to first. It was bobbled by Abby Hatton, and just like that, the Redhawks with a comeback, improbable win off the bat of Lily Delmain are going to do it. 2 straight days, 2 straight walk-offs for the Redhawks. Yesterday, the baseball teams wins 2-12. Today, the softball team wins 9-8 in 7. And what a look at that last play. What a game. Eastern Illinois was up 3-1 at the 3rd inning. They were up 6-1 in the 4th. They were up 7-3 in the 5th, and in the 7th, SEMO makes a comeback, winning 9-8. This is a doubleheader, folks. We got some more softball right ahead of us. We're going to take a break. We'll start streaming in about 15 minutes. Kyler Messenger bringing you the play-by-play. Myself and the rest of the crew will be here for the second game. SEMO wins the first doubleheader in a walk-off comeback fashion, 9-8. This has been a presentation of ESPN Plus, saying so long from the Southeast Softball Complex in Cape Girardeau. My name's Kyler Messenger. Once again, this has been a presentation of ESPN Plus.